You said you don't want to get married. Why don't we start with you? Why don't you want to get married?
For me, it's just the foundation of marriage is a religious one, and I'm not a particularly religious person. And as far as where religion or marriage applies today, it's pretty symbolic. It's a piece of paper and a trip to the courthouse, and I don't find it necessary. It may become necessary in life for taxes and healthcare and dealing with children and properties, but just foundationally, I don't think it's the most important thing. Real commitment comes from that relationship that you share with your partner, kids, communication, and what you've both decided is real. That piece of paper doesn't really do much, in my opinion.
What about prenup?
Prenups in hell.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of prenuptial agreements.
So you think
personally?
Okay, so what happens if somebody cheats and like somebody wants to go away? And he decided he want to leave you. He won't want to see you anymore. He's just going to leave you with 2 kids. And what are you going to have left?
Well, personally, I make money. So
I'm
going to have plenty of money to handle myself. And he makes plenty of money himself. And I realize that it's totally a situational thing. My situation permits that I don't need to be married. And I don't need a prenuptial agreement in order to support myself in life. So I'm not worried.
Sorry. You also don't necessarily need to like do the whole courthouse license thing to be married and have a ceremony and do your own thing on like, I understand the whole religious side too. And for me and my fiance, for example, we're not even sure if we're going to actually legally get married just because like the government honestly owns your marriage at that point. And it's just a lot of technical crap. I don't know. We may though, just because it does kind of help with taxes and a lot of other stuff. I don't know, but regardless though, that's why he and I already kind of feel like we're married, because the piece of paper doesn't necessarily matter either. But I do understand where you're coming from, because it is a lot of like, I don't know, the government has control, the courts have control of your marriage. They basically own it at that point, and it's not really what marriage is about. It's about a union of 2 people, really.
I 100% agree. The government involvement is very strange to me, but also I do think the institution of marriage does allow you to safeguard yourself, say if you need a prenup, and that's important for some women. So yeah.
You want to get married.
Yes.
What if your husband, or your future husband, says, hey, I want a prenup?
No problem.
Oh, you're fine with it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine. Okay. All right. Because there's definitely some women who, if the topic of a prenup is broached, they're going to be like, oh, you don't think it's going to last?
No, I think there's no guarantees in life. So I think
Okay.
it's more like a necessity rather than
Okay.
if I want
Well,
that or not.
what I've heard, and I think I'd like to get an attorney on to consult on this, but a divorce attorney, prenuptial agreements can get thrown out. So even if you do have a prenuptial agreement, I mean, I think Dr. Dre had a prenuptial agreement with his wife, and they were still able to like pierce through it. So I don't know the total details of that, but they can definitely be thrown out. They're not bulletproof. And I just think marriage is an L in today's day and age. I mean, there's obviously the tradition component if you're religious, but when it comes to the government involvement and the potential financial ramifications of having to unwind a marriage, it does not make sense. So don't get married, guys. Don't do it. You do, but you could have a life partner, for example, but you just you don't need the government involved.
Exactly
in that.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
And fully want the whole white picket fence. We are husband and wife, but I just don't feel the need to go and sign some paper that lets them know that we are.
Yep. Also, by the way, guys, there's something called common law marriage. So Nick, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
$99.99.
Of course, man. Thank you.
Thank you for the response.
Well, hey, thank you for the big super chat, man. Appreciate it. If you want to do it through Streamlabs, I'll even be more appreciative. But thank you very much. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you, Nick.